if I get injured in any way, it doesn't matter what it is and doesn't matter how it happened, I ask myself 4 questions. What has happened? Why did it happen? What can you do about it? And how can we keep training? So those 4 questions will set you up for success so that this setback, not only you deal with it in a timely manner, you recover a lot quicker, but also you deal with what actually happened so that it's less likely to happen again and you can continue training. I've had some really significant injuries, and yes, training has dropped and I haven't been able to do what I wanted to do, but I'm still able to do stuff and continue on. And then when you come back to it, you're just in such a better position and you just recover heaps quicker as well. Okay, so the first question, what has happened? This is a very important part of it that a lot of people just brush over. You need to know exactly what the injury is. Like, there's no use going, oh, my knee hurts. There's so many things in your knee that can freaking hurt. You need to pinpoint what is actually hurting and what's happening there. If something hurts, exactly what hurts. If you can't do your own research or speak to me and we can't figure it out, you need to go and see someone. If it's a significant injury, you need to go and see someone like a physio or a specialist to figure out what that actual injury is. You can't fix that thing or work on that thing or work around that thing unless you know what that freaking thing is. Okay, so whether it's coming from up or downstream, it doesn't matter. You need to know what that actual problem is. Is it a meniscus tear in your knee? Is it your patellofemoral tendon? Those two issues are going to have completely different outcomes when it comes to rehab and training. Okay, so number one is what bloody happened. Then we move on to the second one. Why did it happen? This is when a coach can help you, or again, physios specialize in this sort of thing. Why did that actual thing happen? Just because something's happening at the knee doesn't mean it actually come from the knee. It could be coming from so many different areas. Without that knowledge there, you just don't understand how that could be happening in that area. So we need to figure out why it happened. There's reasons why we need to know that is because we don't want it to happen again, and we want to make it recover as quick as possible. So if you know why it happened, we can work on this. This can be an opportunity because you may have been slack with your core work. Okay, now my SI joint's blown out. All right, obviously my core's no good. I really need to make sure I keep that in there. So that why becomes a very powerful driver behind your training now. And now I need to keep in a good amount of core so that my training longevity extends out and I don't end up with this injury again. Then the next thing is, what can you do about it? What can you do to stop it happen again? And that comes back to the why did it actually happen in the first place? What can you do to help it recover quicker as well? And that comes down to what actually bloody happened. So see, we're using this information we're getting from these previous questions. So to recover something quicker, obviously we need to know what the bloody thing is to start with so we can address that exact thing, and then we can work on things so it doesn't happen again and work around it. And then we can be working on any sort of corrective exercises, implementing them into warm-ups, cool downs throughout our sessions, throughout the day, and any sort of rehab movements as well, just to help. So corrective exercises are ones that will stop it happening again. That's correcting any sort of issue. And then rehab movements are more to help it recover quicker. We want movement. If you can move pain-free with that joint or muscle, whatever it is that's gone wrong, then if you can move that and keep it moving, then you're going to stop it from seizing up to start with, because when our body has pain, it inhibits that area. So if you tear a muscle, your body will stop that muscle from contracting as much as what it normally does to protect it. If you're moving more as well, it helps with that recovery. It helps with that lymphatic flow and getting some nice new blood in there as well. That's going to help recover a lot quicker. Okay, so what can you do about it? A lot. And then how can we keep training? This is a big one. A lot of people just, I'm injured. I can't freaking do anything. I've blown my calf out. I can't run. Well, I can't do any cardio this week. There is so much you can do when you've got injuries, no matter what your goal is. Things may take a step back and you may not be able to do certain things that you really want to do, but there's always some things that you can keep doing to at least keep your body ticking along. And again, if you keep moving and you keep the body going, you're going to heal a hell of a lot quicker. Your mindset's going to be a hell of a lot better as well, because when you sit at home feeling sorry for yourself because you can't train because you're injured, it takes a toll on the mind as well. So getting yourself out and doing what you can, even if it is just some really easy, light mobility work, you're still doing stuff. Right. So be all right with that. It's a big thing. Just keep your body movement and keep going. You can use the low impact machines at the gym. If you can't run, you can get on a rower. If you can't do the rowing, you can get on a bike. You can do ski erg if your lower body's completely fried. You can sit on a box and do the ski erg. You can just do hands only assault bikes. You can do those hand bike where you're just like pedaling with your hands. There's so many things that you can do using those low impact machines. You can do swimming. Swimming's really good. Just think of things that you can keep doing and stay pain free. And what I really like to do when I'm injured is don't look at what you can't do. Oh, that's a given. You know what you can't do. Look at things that you can do and even write them down. Write down all this shit that you can do, even though you've got that injury. And it just shifts that mindset a little bit, just puts it a little bit more positive. All right, sweet. I can still do all of this stuff. If you can't run, you can still do those sessions on a bike, on a rower, on an assault bike. A really good thing if you're doing intervals, like anything high intensity, you want to aim for something that gets the whole body in there and you're able to put some intensity into stuff like an assault bike or rower. But you can still get some, high intensity stuff on the other machines as well. I just love them. And if your injuries allow you to, jump on those things. And then when it comes to like your long aerobic stuff, again, you can still do that. Just jump on a bike. And if you use heart rate, that's even better, because now, if it was a zone 2 run, you can make sure you're still hitting that intensity for your cardio system, but you're just using a different apparatus, a different sport, a different exercise. But your cardio system is still developing. I've even taken people completely away from running because they hurt themselves. I can't remember what it was, maybe shin splints or something like that. We did 4 to 6 weeks of just low impact machines using the assault bike, rowers, and all that sort of stuff. Came back to their beep test and they actually did better. You can still keep doing stuff. Okay. And the big one is just avoid anything that causes pain, not just during your session, but after, the day after, 2 days after. If you're getting pain, then you've done something within that session that you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be creating pain, because what's that do? Create more inflammation. It's pretty much telling you that you've damaged it a little bit more. So you want to avoid that as much as possible to allow it to recover as quick as possible. So that is a big talk about managing injuries and maintaining workout consistency. Just remember the big takeaway for this is those 4 questions when you get injured. What has happened? Why did it happen? What can you do about it? And how can you keep training around it?